Hi friends, I am Manivan RJ, a psychologist and also a trainer for bank exams and civil service examinations in India. So in this video we are going to see Karma Yoga and possibilities of having natural success or possibilities of increasing the natural success in our general life and also especially in UPSC or state service exam preparations. So before entering into the topic, let me just recollect few informations from our previous video. Our previous video was titled with Shankya Yoga and preparation for civil service and civil servants. I would recommend you to refer that once. Why? Because I am borrowing few points from that, which is very quite important to maximize your success in life and increase happiness by getting success in your life and also in your civil service examinations. So Shankya Yoga, what I have mentioned in that video is Shankya means different tattvas, different individuals, different ideologies, different survival of the fittest. Yoga means union. It means that union of different individuals, different concepts, different truths, which gives finally integrity to the human mind, through which a person can become undivided personality and he collectively takes decision for the welfare of the society. That is Shankya Yoga. So in this video we are seeing Karma Yoga and increasing the possibilities of the success. So I am directly taking the help of Bhagavad Gita 3rd chapter, where the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna comes in the way of Karma Yoga. Krishna is launching Arjuna to involve in the karmas without attachments, and he helps him to attain the greater success. The same concepts we are going to see here in this video also. So what is Karma Yoga? Karma means actions. The actions are quite inevitable in our life. Many saints and yogis first they attempted with not at all having the karmas, that means not to have actions. But whoever tried in that way definitely failed. Why? Because without actions you cannot become in action. If you become in action, something is or something else is keep on working in you and around you. If you just silently sit for some time, you can observe that you are inactive, but inside your body, blood, cells, heart, organs, brain and neurotransmitting energies are working, which simply shows that you are not exempted from the karmas. That means actions. So this is action. It's simply action. Then what is yoga? Yoga is union. Karma Yoga means union or collaboration or coordination between various actions without attachment and dedication. I mean, a person should do karmas without attachment to the end result. but with dedication and joy, with enthusiasm. So I again referring through few scenes from Mahabharata, from Kurukshetra war. After Krishna taught Arjuna what is Sankhya Yoga by showing his Vishwarupa Darshan, the gigantic, pervasive form of the nature. But still Arjuna is feeling nervous and bit confused, but determined with his duty, with integrity, what he recently learned through the Sankhya Yoga. His mind is undivided, so he is able to wage war, but still he is nervous. Why he is nervous? Why? Because he doesn't know the secret of actions, secret of the karma. So he requests Lord Krishna, dear Lord, O Parandama, please help me to get rid of my nervousness, because I'm afraid of doing karmas, because I don't know the secret of the karma. Please let me know. Dear friend, here what I'm referring, Lord Krishna or Govinda, it's not just that Lord Krishna. What I mean here is what Jesus calls the Paramapita, what Allah, what Muhammad Nabi calls Allah, or other religious gurus, Guru Nanak, Mahavir, Buddha calls that pervasive nature, that Lord. It's not just referred from one religious text. I want to give the integral value for this karma, because all the religious texts have explained it beautifully. Coming to a point, what is the secret of karma or action? So Krishna explains to Arjuna that the karmas should not be done with expecting the fruit of the action, with detachment of the result, but with enthus and happiness and full of consciousness. Everybody can ask that, how come, sir, without expecting the result I can do the karma? I mean that without expecting money, how can I work in a company or government offices? Without expecting something from people, how can I have a relationship? Of course, you're right. The nature is also not denying that. Without expectation, you can't do that. And our human brain definitely expects when we do certain karmas or actions. Especially when we prepare for civil service examinations. What's our expectation that at the end we have to become officers? Either IPS or IAS, IRS, especially the Group A categories. Group B means then we'll start fighting inside our mind. We don't feel comfortable. That discomfortable makes you not to learn properly from your syllabus and books. This is what exactly Krishna says, that if you think about the end result, your mind will play a game with you. But you have to just have a vision. Not expecting the fruit, but having a vision. How Krishna and Pandavas had a vision of winning over the Kauravas and getting back their kingdom. That means win over the Dharma. Like that, we too can have a vision that we have to become officers. And we have to do good things, welfare activities for the society. That's our goal, a vision. That is a vision you should keep there, which is not to be realized and practically materialized as of now. It is going to happen after a few months, maybe after a few years, depending upon the capability. But now if you're thinking about the end, that I will be IAS or IPS, then if you take out your books and start studying, reading, then what happens? You will be not able to focus on it very clearly. Why? Because the mind will wander and it create confusions, which will create especially a subtle anxiety in your mind, which will not allow you to have the karma yoga through the Shanka yoga, which means integrity in your mind. The integrity will miss. You will go into the fantastical world. Having a vision that I want to do this to my country, that's a vision. Just have it and dedicate yourself for the work. This is what Krishna says, that just dedicate yourself for the work without expecting the fruit. But it doesn't mean that there is no vision. There must be vision. With the vision only we can go. We are not expecting the fruit, but with vision, with utmost sincerity, when you give your work, with dedication and enthos, especially enthos, then I mean that your success is handed over to the nature. Nature will naturally maximizes the possibilities of giving you success. I'll just give you an example. For example, you are sitting in a bus which is going around 70 to 80 kilometers speed per hour towards some city where you wanted to go. The bus is moving. The road is definitely bumpy, which has more potholes and speed breakers, and it's just going on with so much turbulence and shakes. For example, if the bus suddenly goes front, you will go back. If bus is stopped by sudden brake, you will come front. This is normal action. Can you avoid this? This is natural actions in bus, because bus is the bigger aspect of you. You are inside the bus. When you are inside the bus, when bus is going, how bus is reacting on the road, accordingly inside also it will make you to react according to the movements, how bus is moving front and back. So when bus goes front, you should go back. Instead of that, you stand stiff or go front. One possibility. The next, when bus is suddenly stopped, you should come front. Instead of that, if you stick straight and go back, what will happen to you? Definitely that will hurt your body. Either you will hurt your back, or you will hurt your shoulder, or you will hurt your system. Why? Because you are going against the motion which bus is giving you to go in some other direction. So it affects your body and it affects your mind. So I am borrowing one more concept from psychology known as psychosis. Psychosis, or also psychosomatic, we can call it. It means the body is influenced by the mind. If something happens to the body, mind is influenced. If something happens to the mind, your perceptions, your personality, or however you mention it, if something happens to your mind, that directly or indirectly influences your body. So like what I gave an example in the bus, when you are stiff according to what you're supposed to move, irrespectively when you do opposite or when you resist, it damages your body and mind. Imagine that you are in this universe. Universes keep working like bus. It's keep on moving with so many programs and actions. Actions of others, actions of survival of fittest of others, yours, planets, sun, radiations, asteroids, and weather. So many things are working, and you are a tiny part of this earth. When bus only moves, you must cooperate and coordinate with the bus, bend like this and go front and go, and you have to manage and go. So you will not have strain on your body, but you will definitely reach the destination successfully. This is what karma. When you are in this universe with all those complete gigantic multiplied actions, and individuals and souls, that means lives, when all are interacting, definitely we have to be cooperative instead of being stiff or going against it. I'm not saying that if you might ask a question that, sir, if there is some thief who is forcing me to do thief or all those things, or I have the possibilities of doing crimes, that's your choice. That's your choice of doing it. But so many other factors also influenced. But if we talk about that, it will go into the other concept. We will definitely talk all those concepts in further videos. I will not miss those concepts. But let us come to this. So, when you are in this with the choice of this universe, when you are living on this earth, you can choose your actions and go in a direction. But when you go in that direction, you have to completely cooperate, bend and coordinate, be flexible to the process. That is what Krishna mean is surrenderance. Without attachment, you just go with the flow, with vision, but not expecting the fruit, but with vision. When you go in such way, then what happens actually, you are actually acquainted with the power of the nature. Nature is very unconditional. That's what Krishna says, that he's asking you to do the karmas without attachments, unconditionally. So nature is actually without expectations, unconditionally it is giving all the energies, food, life for us. It can include everything, our earth, mother earth, sun, moon, planets, weather, universe, galaxy, everything. Everything is contributing for us. So when all these things are contributing on us unconditionally, when we involve in such works, that means when we involve in such nature and keep on going in that way, first we will feel like we are selfish. But when you surrender and go in that way, you too will become unconditional. Then nature takes over, giving success to you. You need not expect that. How accurately, how dedicatively, and how fraction you have done your work, nature records it. And nature gives back that to you, the same success. In success return. For example, I can explain this with one small example. There is a wheel. You can see a wheel when it is rotating. The outer surface of the wheel will be more turbulence, more twists, more air and more circulations will be there. When you keep anything on that surface, that means brim of the wheel, you keep any object, when wheel is moving, it will just throw the object. But when you keep that same object in the center of the wheel, it will not throw the object, but there will be a movement, twisting movement only. It will be twisting, it will be rotating, but it will not throw. You tell me that where more power is there, center of the wheel or brim of the wheel? Center of the wheel is more powerful, because there where the engine or the force is twisting the wheel. Here the power is there, but outer there are turbulence. Like that, your karmas also, your actions also, when you dedicatively towards the center, that means towards the vision, what's the goal, but without fantasizing, that will happen, this will happen, I will do like this, I will be IAS, wearing that shirt, coming in car and doing, no. But having vision that I will be an officer and I will do welfare. The nature does not expect you to wear nice dress and come in car and do service. The nature expects you to be enthused, energetic, capable and coordinate the people, have integrity through Shankya Yoga, and feel the completeness and be successful person. That's what nature expects. You have to cooperate like bus. You have to cooperate with the nature, whatever it expects you. Just go with the flow, with surrender. Definitely, nature will give you success. For that, we need to practice. Same, I am coming to the syllabus now. For IAS syllabus, if you take out the syllabus and look into the syllabus, people most of the time get afraid. Oh my God, such a huge syllabus. History, geography, science and technology. Constitution is okay, fine. And current affairs is an ocean. But as we have discussed in the last video, Shanti Yoga, the syllabus is given to make you have integrity in your mind. That means, as Shanti Yoga says, we should have the vision of undividedness, collectiveness of all, union of all the individuals and their survivals, lives, and accepting everything. That's Sankhya Yoga. And with that integrity, when you approach your syllabus with Karma Yoga, that means what I have been explaining now so far. With dedication, having a vision that I will become officer, but not fantasizing what and all I will do. Having a vision, I will become and do the good things, welfare to the society. And how buses or universities requiring you to be flexible and become adaptive to that, how nature is working, or bus, what I gave the example, bus, like that. The syllabus and our society and government and our country is working in one motion, working in one nature. Definitely there is a lots of influence, and you are in it, so you have to be flexible towards those nature of this country and constitution, politics and current affairs. And with that thing, you should dedicate to the syllabus also. That is the integrity. You are accepting all your environment is integrity. With that, when you approach the syllabus, you have to dedicate to the syllabus. Like selfishly, if you think that according to my style, if I take the syllabus and see, then your efficiency will be less. I am not saying that you will not clear or you will not be able to intellectually approach the syllabus, but your efficiency, effectiveness will be less. Why? Because you are taking charge of certain uncertainty. But now, when you take the syllabus, for example, take geography or constitution, just surrender to that syllabus and take one syllabus. What and all syllabus requires from you, do all the needful to the syllabus. It is asking you to know, for example, from constitution, it's asking us to know the third tier of the government, Panchayat Raj, know it. Especially in that, if it wants to know that how administration happens, know it. Especially in that, if it asks how finance, the financing aid and advice is happening, you have to consider that also. Going to the bigger picture, that why we are having fundamental rights and how it is connected with judiciary, and why federal structure is not compatible to India, and why other countries are possible. Can you see that the syllabus is expecting you to explore in deviation? You should dedicate for that each exploration. It's asking that go and learn that, asking to go and learn that, completely learn however the syllabus is requiring, completely learn it, be completely equipped. Now your success is definitely handed over to this nature. When you go and sit in the exam hall, whichever angle they ask also, whichever question might come also, your answers will be maximum accurate. That will definitely make you successful and increases the possibilities of getting success in your exam. Not only in your exam, we approach the same principle. Forget about if you are not preparing for civil service, if you are pursuing any other business or job, anything in that, whatever required, dedicate yourself with vision but not with fantasy. Krishna says this only, that without expecting fruit means he's telling not to have fantasy, but naturally have that instinct and vision, and work whatever it requires, go there and work it. Don't restrict yourself that I will learn this only, I know to do this only, I will do this only. That is restricting you. Know everything. Expand your horizon of knowing through the actions. Without doing actions, you cannot perform this. Without doing actions, without performing, without taking the book and reading, without going to library, without taking the paper and listening, without interacting with the people, without listening to the news, without you are sitting and introspecting inside that how it is working, all the constitution, geography, history, how international relationship are working. When you have that work, karma, with complete dedication, with vision, then you are definitely becoming capable, just not only in IAS, but also you will succeed in your life. Wish you all the best. We shall see further concepts in further videos. Jai Hind.